Hey, I want to take a second and talk about a pretty big change coming to growing deer. For years, we've shot prime bows. We've been great friends with Prime Archery, Matt Grace and the whole team, and great relationship. I started out shooting a traditional bow like most people my age, recurve long bows, and Prime was doing some good stuff, but maybe going slightly different direction, and I had been having the urge for a couple years to get back to traditional archery. Shorter game, but a lot funner for me. So we've officially made a change. I'm super excited to announce that we're now partnered with Black Widow bows. Black Widow is one of the best trad bow makers. Been making bows for many decades. You Google them, high satisfaction rates. I mean, just nothing but great comments about a Black Widow. So just picked up a new longbow today. I'm super excited to get out here and start practicing, whipping at the morel target. You know, two of the biggest bucks I've ever killed were with the Black Widow bow long before we started growing deer. And those were super fun hunts. I have so much fun really into traditional archery. It's like a martial art. You're tweaking little bitty things to make it all work out. Get that finger to come off the string just right. You don't have a release in traditional archery. I don't use sights. I shoot instinctive. So just want to share this update so you're not caught cold-sighted and wonder what the heck are they doing out there. We've got some hog hunts coming up soon, and you're gonna really, I think, enjoy seeing our adventure of returning to traditional archery and with our partners at Black Widow Bows.
Hey y'all, Miles at Black Widow here. So Grant's here, he's picking up his new longbow. We're getting some arrows tuned up and seeing how it goes, but wanted to go over the takedown system on these longbows. So this is kind of what it looks like under the hood. You know, usually we've got a leather wrap or something over the top of this, but this is what it looks like down to the bare bow. So what this is like a fiberglass tape that we've saturated in glue. We put it in a device and it spins it, and we wrap it. We'll wrap it all big and fat, and then we'll shave it down to the grip. But what this is this is allowing this bow to now be broken down into two. So we have two pieces of face phenolic on each other, and then we'll have the bow glued up as a one piece, shave it down to this, break it apart, and then put it back together like this. So we've got channel grooves here that put this together, lines it up super snug every time. It's very tough. We've never had one break, never had one malfunction or anything. Under a pressure test, these broke at the same place that one piece did, which was actually at the shelf. We've never had one of these break, and it was like 1,500 pounds of torque pressure that it took. So these things have been super strong. A lot of times when you shoot them, you don't even know you're shooting a takedown. There's no hardware or anything to it. So again, it's just a super awesome way to, if you ever needed to for travel or whatever it might be, if you needed to pull your bow apart into two pieces, you can do it just like that. So this is kind of the where it all begins. So we get this wood to come in, and this is all cut into 100,000 boards. We'll layer it up with the glass that it needs, and then we're gonna glue every side of every single piece. We're gonna put it on these forms. You know, these forms are dedicated to each model, and then we're gonna put these clamps on it, and we're gonna clamp it down. We're gonna slide all of this into an oven that sits at about 140 degrees. So these are some lowers that have went in, and we'll round those. We'll give those the arch profile that they need, and then we'll glue the uppers back onto them here and then put them back in the oven. So these are risers that, you know, this is now cooling off, and it's ready to be shaped into the riser. So we do the same thing with the limbs and the bows. So we're gonna lay out the glass and the core and the veneers, whatever it needs, whether it's carbon or fiberglass. We're gonna lay all that up here, glue every side of it, stack it all together. We're gonna put it on a form, and we're gonna clamp it down. Each clamp will get a different pound of torque depending on where it's at in the limb. That helps with consistency as far as the tiller and everything else like that. But this is a set of limbs that have been glued. So they're all glued as one solid piece, and then we'll come and we'll cut it in half. We'll drill the mounting holes, and this will become two, you know, this will be a set of limbs, two separate limbs and a set of limb for a 62-inch PSA. So that's what these are going to be. But this is why, you know, we can't just build just the top limb or just the bottom limb. You know, they're all built together. This material is all one piece, so it's the same thickness all the way throughout. And this is basically, this is a book match pair of everything. So same thing here with the one-piece bows. So this is a riser we glued up, and now we've glued the limbs onto it. So this is ready for the limbs to be profiled and the riser to be profiled, and start shaping it out into an actual bow. We'll sneak on back through here and meet Bradley. All right, so Bradley here, he does all of our tip work and everything. So he's getting some risers and some bows ready to be finished up. So these are tips that he has cleaned up. He's got these ready to have a string put on them so that we can check their tiller and brace height and their poundage at you know, whatever draw length is ordered, and getting all these good to go. This is Millie. So milling the milling machine is what we call her. We got her in 2001. We didn't start producing bows in her until 2003. That time we spent tearing a lot of stuff up, figuring out how we're gonna run these, how we're gonna hold them. Every single one of these fixtures that's here and on these back shelves that's mounted in there, everything except for the 4th axis head, we made inside this machine here, all with a certain purpose of what to do. So what Millie's doing now is she's running a riser profile. So that riser went in 2-inch stock, so it went in like that, and now you can see Millie is coming down and she's giving it a rough cutout. So these will come out, go in looking like this, they'll come out looking like this. A rough cutout, a lot of sharp edges still, but everything from here will be done by hand. As far as we'll round the shelf in, we'll round everything, these horns and everything in, and getting this ready to be put on a set of limbs. Same thing with the G10 risers. They go in as a block and they'll come out as this. And this is after all the layers have been glued up. So we've layered in all the glass and all the woods, layered them all up, glued them down. You can see all this glue that's hardened on the side. We've glued in the butt blocks. We've already cut and drilled into the mounting holes and put in the inserts. This is where the limbs will mount up and actually screw into the riser. So we've already got that done, and then it's ready to be profiled. This is the longest program that we run. Each riser takes about 45 minutes, give or take the model and the grip. So that's what this is going on. These are more fixtures. Like I said, all these fixtures we built inside Millie, all of them with a specific purpose and a specific task to run. So these are risers that have been primed. So meaning these risers have all been rounded in. They are now waiting for their limbs. They're waiting for the limbs to come through and be tillered and weight checked and be put on these risers. So we've rounded these in and we've sealed them with a primer. When their limbs come through, we will actually sand all this off. We will finish all the final sanding, make sure there's no scratches or anything in it, and then we're going to put a sealant and a filler on them and get those ready to be painted with their limbs. This is a tillering table, so this is where we will take, you know, either off the sides or off the surface to put in tiller and weight. Dad will come out here and he'll put these bows on this scale. He'll pull it to whatever draw length is ordered and see what the weight is on that. So this is where all that is done. This is Milton, the milling machine. So Milton is the same exact machine, but he's 2 years newer. Both machines have specific goals that they do, that they have a weekly schedule. You know, this is gonna run certain things, Millie's gonna run certain things, and that's how it goes week by week. If something were to happen, you know, we break a belt or something on a machine, they are cross-compatible to run each other's jobs, but it's a lot more efficient when they don't have to. So this fixture we've made in here is to hold those lowers and to run that riser profile angle to be able to glue the uppers down onto them. So that's what they were running in here earlier. So this is what we call the saw room, mainly because of the band saws, of course, but this is all glass, colored glass, clear glass, some G10 down there, and this has all been cut and organized by length and by thickness. So when we come in here and we need to pull glass for a riser, you know, all of our material and our links are here. the different lengths is going to determine what bottle it's going to go in, whether that's a PCH, a PSA, a PMA, a PTF, PL, whatever it is. This is where that material is going to go, and then this longer material over here would be, of course, for the limbs. So these are some risers that have come through. So these are, as you can see, these are just cut into wood. And what Scott's doing now is he's coming in here and he's going to read all of these. This is a right-hand standard grip, no red, so he's not going to pull any red glass with this, or whatever it might be. This one, elm trim with a cooling grip. He'll pull the glass and stack it up in the appropriate way it's supposed to be, and the thickness is supposed to be. Put it within these layers where these go between the 150 or the 100s or the 5/8 board, the lowers, and get these all stacked up to be ready to be glued up. We'll go right through this last room. This is where the magic happens. So this is our paint booth. We paint 2 days. So the first day, bows get basically 2 coats of a gloss, and then on that final day, they're gonna come and get the frost finish, that matte finish type of look, and that's what we're gonna do then. So we usually paint Thursdays and Fridays. We'll let them hang over the weekend and dry, then come in Monday, we take them down. So this rack actually today was full of limbs and risers. They took those down this morning, and then they got them prepped to ship, which meaning they put the shelf rest on them, they glued the stud pins in them and the inserts, and that's what they're actually doing now. So we can go check out what those look like final, and that's right before they're be shipped out. So they'll start shipping out tomorrow. So these are all the limbs that were in the paint booth. So they've come in and these are still wet. So we've glued in these limb inserts and we've got these setting to dry. Same thing with the risers over here. All these risers, they've come in, they've glued in the stud pins, they've put on the shelf rest. If there were any inserts needed, like this one, we glued in these inserts. So we drilled and tapped and then actually glued in these inserts today. So we'll let those dry and then let all that start shipping out tomorrow. But that's pretty much the lifespan of a Black Widow bow.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Green Cover Food Plots, Winchester, PH Outdoors, Moultrie Mobile, Steel, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Morel Targets, Fourth Arrow, Black Widow Bows, Soil Pro Outdoors, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Burris Optics, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
I've known some of the guys at Black Widow since I was in high school. I was raised in an area actually about 7 miles away from one of their old stores. They don't have stores, it's where they actually build bows, sanding, grinding, heating, gluing together, all that stuff. They have a much newer, nicer facility now. I've been going up there shooting with the guys just because I've known them over time. Daniel and I went up there recently. Daniel's getting his bow built. They just finished mine. They're beautiful. I don't think everyone looked at a compound and said, man, that's a beautiful bow. They're a great tool, don't get me wrong. And I've killed a pile of critters with them. The craftsmanship is part of what they put in it. Ken Beck was the guy that got that going. The Wilson brothers started, then decades ago, Ken Beck took it over and designed new bows. He's a brilliant man and a true gentleman, one of the truest gentlemen I've ever met anywhere, certainly in the outdoor industry. So if you're watching this, Ken, thanks for your friendship through the years. And for Toby and all the guys at Black Widow, man, I've known them forever. And now Miles, Toby's son's coming in and playing a big part there, and all the other craftsmen there, Bailey and the others, watching them do their work and how precise it is and the tillering. This isn't parts built in a factory and then assembled. They custom build your bow one at a time. It's amazing. We're gonna be showing you more about that process. If you wanna learn more, just check out their website at Black Widow, or put the link right here, and check them all out, go through there. If you're by us, you come to the Proving Grounds, you're in Nixon, Missouri, they're just up the road 25 miles from us. Stop in, take tours, shoot some bows, but be careful. You pick one of those babies up, you're gonna wanna take one home. I'm just so excited. It puts the fun way back in archery. And again, I love shooting a compound and tuning it, but getting that arrow flying just right out of a trad bow, traditional bow, and they're so quiet, It's amazing how quiet they are after shooting a compound for so long, and whatever compound, they're getting better, but you know, when that wheel goes around, that cable's slapping that cam. You just can't get around it. You can't design that out of it, but like me shooting a lone bow, there's no string slap. Man, is it quiet. So super excited, wanted to explain what's going on, and it's a great way for me to take that trad bow, do some stump hunting or target shooting, and get outside and enjoy creation. And I hope each of you all take time, no matter what you're doing, to get outside, really enjoy creation, and more importantly, seek the Creator's will for your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.